The camera fades in on the bustling set of a popular daytime talk show, where the audience is buzzing with excitement as the hosts take their seats around the iconic round table. Joy Behar, with her signature sharp wit and no-nonsense demeanor, adjusts her microphone, her eyes scanning the crowd with a familiar mix of amusement and authority. She's flanked by her co-hosts, all poised for another lively discussion on current events, celebrity gossip, and hot-button issues. The theme music swells, and the announcer's voice booms over the speakers. Live from New York, it's The View. Applause erupts as the lights brighten, and Joy leans forward, her voice cutting through the noise like a knife. Welcome back, everyone. Today, we've got a real treat for you. Action star extraordinaire, Jason Statham, joining us to talk about his latest blockbuster. The crowd cheers wildly, and Jason strides onto the stage, his muscular frame clad in a sleek black suit, exuding that effortless cool that's made him a Hollywood icon. He shakes hands with the hosts, flashing a rare smile as he settles into the guest chair opposite Joy. The conversation starts light, with questions about his intense training regimen and behind-the-scenes stories from his films. Jason responds in his gravelly British accent, keeping things polite but direct. "Yeah, it's all about discipline," he says, his eyes steady. But as the segment progresses, Joy steers the talk toward more controversial territory, probing into Jason's views on Hollywood's treatment of stunt performers and the industry's push for diversity. She's passionate, her words flying fast, interrupting Jason mid-sentence with a quip that draws laughs from the audience. "Come on, Jason, don't tell me you haven't noticed how these action flicks are all about the tough guys saving the day. Where's the respect for the real heroes behind the camera?" Jason pauses, his expression hardening slightly, but he nods along, trying to respond thoughtfully. The back and forth intensifies, with Joy dominating the airtime, her voice rising as she presses him on political stances he hasn't publicly shared. The other hosts chime in, but it's clear Joy is in her element, challenging him with pointed questions that border on accusatory. Jason remains composed, his hands clasped in his lap, but there's a tension building in the air, like the calm before a storm in one of his movies. The audience senses it too, their murmurs growing as Joy laughs off one of his attempts to clarify a point. Finally, as she cuts him off again with a sarcastic remark about action stars being out of touch, Jason's patience snaps just a fraction, not in anger, but in firm resolve. He leans forward, his voice low and commanding, cutting through her words like a blade. "Joy," he says, his tone measured but unyielding, "show some respect." The studio falls silent for a beat, the weight of those words hanging in the air, as Joy's eyes widen in surprise, the audience gasping in unison. It's a moment that electrifies the room, Jason's no-frills delivery making it clear he's not here for games. The co-hosts exchange glances, and even Joy, usually quick with a comeback, seems momentarily stunned, her mouth opening but no words coming out immediately. Jason doesn't raise his voice or gesture wildly, it's his sheer presence that demands attention, a silent force that silences the chatter. The camera zooms in on their faces, capturing the raw authenticity of the exchange. Joy recovering with a forced chuckle, trying to play it off as banter, but the shift in dynamics is palpable. "Well, all right then," she stammers, the audience erupting into a mix of applause and awkward laughter. Jason sits back, his point made, as the show cuts to a commercial break, leaving viewers at home on the edge of their seats, replaying that pivotal line in their minds. The incident quickly becomes the talk of the segment, with social media lighting up even before the episode ends, fans praising Jason for standing his ground with class. Back on set, as the break ends, the conversation resumes on a more even keel, Joy toning down her interruptions, perhaps out of genuine reflection or just the shock of being called out so directly. Jason elaborates on his thoughts, sharing stories from his early days as a diver and model, emphasizing the hard work that goes unnoticed. The hosts listen more attentively now, the respect he's demanded subtly weaving into the dialogue. It's a masterclass in assertiveness, Jason proving that sometimes, a few well-chosen words can command more power than any explosive action sequence. As the interview wraps up, he thanks the panel, shaking hands again, but that moment lingers, defining the entire appearance. The video script captures this build-up meticulously, ensuring every glance, every pause, builds to that climactic silence. Building on the electrifying moment where Jason Statham utters those unforgettable words, the script delves deeper into the aftermath on the set, as the audience's reaction ripples through the studio like waves after a stone's throw. Joy Behar, recovering from the initial shock, attempts to steer the conversation back with her trademark humor, quipping, "Okay, Jason, message received day loud and clear, but let's talk about that new movie of yours. Is it true you did all your own stunts again?" Her voice carries a hint of defensiveness, but she's a pro, masking it with a smile that doesn't quite reach her eyes. Jason nods, his demeanor unchanged, as if the interruption was just a minor blip in an otherwise civil chat. "Absolutely," he replies, diving into details about the grueling filming process in exotic locations, from high-speed chases to hand-to-hand combat scenes choreographed to perfection. The co-hosts jump in with follow-up questions, the energy in the room shifting from tension to admiration, as Jason's stories paint him not just as a star, but as a dedicated craftsman. Viewers at home are glued to their screens, the live broadcast capturing unfiltered reactions, as some audience members whispering excitedly, others nodding in agreement with Jason's call for respect. The script emphasizes visual cues, close-ups on Joy's face as she listens, her expressions softening, perhaps realizing the value in letting guests speak fully. Jason elaborates on the importance of respect in his line of work, drawing parallels to everyday life. In action films, it's all about trusting your team, your director, your co-stars. Without respect, it all falls apart, he says, his words resonating deeply. The discussion evolves into broader topics, like the evolution of the action genre and how it's adapting to modern audiences' demands for more inclusive storytelling. Joy chimes in more collaboratively now, agreeing on points and sharing her own anecdotes from interviewing other celebrities. It's a subtle transformation, the script highlighting how Jason's firm stance fosters a more balanced exchange. As the segment continues, clips from his latest movie play on the screen behind them, showcasing explosive action that contrasts with the poised man on stage. The audience applauds each highlight, and Jason humbly deflects praise, crediting the crew. "It's not just me out there, it's hundreds of people making it happen. They deserve their respect," he reiterates, tying back to his earlier rebuke without directly referencing it. Joy nods, her response more measured. "You're right, Jason. We sometimes forget that in the glamour of it all." The co-hosts build on this, turning the talk into a positive dialogue about appreciation in Hollywood. The script weaves in audience interactions, with a few fans asking questions from the crowd, one inquiring about Jason's fitness tips, another about his favorite co-stars. He answers graciously, his British charm winning over even the skeptics. But beneath the surface, the video underscores the power dynamic shift. Jason's silence of Joy isn't about domination but about equality in conversation. Social media explodes during the broadcast, with hashtags like #JasonSilences trending, fans debating the moment's authenticity. Some praise Jason for his poise, others defend Joy's style as part of the show's appeal. The script captures this buzz through imagined on-screen graphics showing live tweets, adding a layer of real-time engagement. As the interview nears its end, Joy extends an olive branch. "Jason, thanks for keeping us on our toes today. We appreciate your honesty." He smiles genuinely, replying, "No worries, Joy." Respect goes both ways. The audience claps enthusiastically as he waves goodbye, the camera panning out to the full set. This paragraph of the script extends the narrative, fleshing out character developments and thematic depth, ensuring the video feels like a complete, compelling story rather than a mere clip. It maintains momentum, blending dialogue with descriptive action to keep viewers hooked, all while adhering to the live show's unpredictable vibe. Transitioning seamlessly from the interview's resolution, the script explores the wider implications of Jason Statham's bold statement, turning the video into a commentary on celebrity interactions and media etiquette. As the show resumes after another commercial, the hosts reflect on the exchange in the post-interview segment, with Joy leading the charge. "Well, that was intense. Jason Statham doesn't mess around, does he?" she says with a laugh, her co-hosts agreeing and sharing their takes. One remarks, "It's refreshing to see someone stand up like that, politely but firmly." The audience nods along, the atmosphere lighter now, as if the tension has been released like air from a balloon. The script incorporates archival footage of similar moments in talk show history, flashing quick clips of other celebrities clashing with hosts, drawing parallels to emphasize Jason's unique handling. Back in the present, Joy admits, he's got a point. "In our line of work, we push boundaries, but respect is key." This self-reflection adds depth, humanizing her and showing growth. The video then cuts to fan reactions compiled from social media, with voiceovers reading tweets, "Jason just became my hero. Show some respect," and Joy got served, but she handled it like a champ. This montage builds excitement, illustrating how one moment can spark widespread discussion. Jason, offstage now, is shown in a quick backstage clip shaking hands with crew members, his humility shining through. The narrative voiceover ties it together. In a world where sound bites rule, Jason Statham reminds us that true strength lies in measured words. The script expands on this theme, delving into Jason's background from his days as a professional diver competing in the Commonwealth Games to his modeling career and eventual breakthrough in films like Lock, Stock and Two Smoking Barrels. It paints a picture of a man who's earned his stripes through grit, not entitlement, making his call for respect all the more poignant. Joy's character is fleshed out too, highlighting her decades in comedy and activism, her sharp tongue a tool for sparking debate rather than malice. The video script balances perspectives, avoiding villainizing anyone, instead portraying the incident as a teachable moment. As the show wraps, the hosts tease upcoming guests, but the buzz remains on Jason. Post-broadcast, the script imagines news outlets picking up the story, with headlines like "Statham shuts down Behar," "Epic live TV moment." Clips go viral, amassing millions of views overnight. Experts weigh in via inserted interviews, a media analyst saying, "This highlights the fine line between probing questions and overstepping." Fans recreate the scene in memes, amplifying its cultural impact. The paragraph extends with detailed descriptions of the studio's energy, lights dimming slightly for dramatic effect, audience members leaning forward, captivated. Dialogue flows naturally, with Jason's influence lingering even in his absence. The co-hosts discuss respect in broader contexts, like politics and social media, tying the personal to the universal. Joy shares a personal story. "I've been on both sides, interviewing and being interviewed. It's all about balance." This vulnerability endears her to viewers, redeeming any perceived sharpness. The script ensures pacing, mixing high-energy reactions with quieter reflections, keeping the 2,500-character mark in mind for comprehensive coverage. Ultimately, this section transforms the video from a simple confrontation clip into a thoughtful exploration of communication, respect, and the human element in entertainment. Delving further into the ripple effects beyond the studio, the script shifts focus to the online frenzy ignited by Jason Statham's live takedown of Joy Behar, crafting a narrative that captures the digital age's amplification of such moments. As the episode airs, Twitter now X erupts with posts dissecting every second, users uploading slowed-down clips of Jason's steely gaze and Joy's surprised blink, captioning them with "when action meets reaction." Viral threads analyze body language, with amateur psychologists noting Jason's controlled posture versus Joy's animated gestures. The video incorporates these elements through on-screen graphics, simulating a scroll of comments. "Jason is the king of cool, Joy, take notes," and counterpoints like "Joy was just doing her job, a host's gotta host." This duality keeps the script balanced, showing divided opinions. News sites like TMZ and Entertainment Weekly publish articles within hours, embedding the clip and quoting insiders. Statham's no stranger to tough spots, but this was verbal combat at its finest. The narrative voiceover adds context. What started as a routine interview became a cultural touchstone, sparking debates on civility and media. Jason's team issues a subtle statement via his socials, emphasizing his respect for the hosts while standing by his words. Joy, ever the resilient figure, tweets a light-hearted response, touched base with Jason post-show at all good. Respect indeed. The view this diffuses potential backlash, turning controversy into camaraderie. The script weaves in biographical depth, Jason's rise from street markets selling jewelry to global stardom, underscoring his working-class roots that inform his straightforwardness. Joy's journey from teacher to comedian to TV staple is highlighted, her boldness a product of breaking barriers in a male-dominated field. Fan compilations emerge, mashing the moment with scenes from Jason's films like him and Transporter saying lines that echo show some respect. Late-night shows parody it, with hosts impersonating the exchange for laughs. The video script captures this meta layer, including mock sketches where comedians exaggerate Joy's interruptions and Jason's deadpan delivery. Public figures chime in, other actors praising Jason's poise, journalists defending Joy's style as essential for engaging TV. The paragraph expands on societal themes, linking the incident to larger conversations about interruptive culture and debates. From politics to podcasts, in an era of constant noise, silence speaks volumes. The voiceover intones. Viewer testimonials are inserted, a fan saying, "As someone who's been talked over, Jason's stand felt empowering." This personal touch resonates, broadening appeal. The script maintains vivid imagery, pixels flickering on screens worldwide, notifications dinging incessantly. As days pass in the narrative, the moment fades from headlines but leaves a legacy. Talk shows adopting subtler guidelines for guest interactions. Jason's next press tour sees hosts treading carefully, joking about not pulling a Joy. She, in turn, incorporates the story into her stand-up, owning it with humor. The video concludes this section with a forward-looking note, how such authentic exchanges keep live TV thrilling, unpredictable, and human. Through detailed dialogue recreations and descriptive prose, this paragraph enriches the script, ensuring it feels expansive and immersive, expanding the script's horizon to explore the personal ramifications for both Jason Statham and Joy Behar. The narrative delves into their post-show reflections and how the incident influences their public personas. In imagined behind-the-scenes footage, Jason is seen in his dressing room, sipping water and chatting with his publicist. It wasn't planned, but sometimes you have to speak up. His calm recounting reinforces his image as unflappable, a trait honed from years in high-stakes action roles. Joy, meanwhile, huddles with her co-hosts off-air, laughing it off. That Brit's got spine, made for great TV, though. Her resilience shines, turning potential embarrassment into a badge of honor. The video script interlaces these intimate moments with broader career insights. Jason's upcoming projects, like sequels and new ventures into producing, where he advocates for crew recognition. Joy's continued activism, using her platform for causes like women's rights, gains nuance from the event as she becomes more mindful of dialogue flow in interviews. Fan mail pours in, with letters read aloud in the script, one to Jason praising his gentlemanly assertiveness, another to Joy encouraging her unfiltered style. Media tours follow, Jason on podcasts discussing respect and masculinity. It's not about being loud, it's about being heard. Joy on radio shows quips, "He silenced me." Nah, he just paused the convoy and it worked. This banter keeps the story alive, fostering mutual respect publicly. The script incorporates expert commentary, a communication professor analyzing the power of concise language in confrontations,